AI will make you rich instantly. It's a get rich quick scheme, except it isn't. You've all seen the claims online. AI trading bots turning $500 into $50,000 in just a few months. But let's today talk about the things they're not telling you. So let's talk about the three biggest myths about AI in trading. So the first myth is that AI basically never loses money. And the thinking is that because AI analyzes millions of data points or has looked at millions of data points, it just can't lose. Well, reality is completely different because, for example, during COVID, some AI systems got wrecked because they couldn't anticipate or react to an event like that. So just because an AI has been trained on the past doesn't mean it can perfectly predict and react to every condition. So basically, every AI trading system loses money sometimes because trading isn't a deterministic math problem. And the winners, the winning quant trading firms, they're not the ones that completely avoid losses. They're the ones who are best at managing risk and managing losses. So the thing is that AI minimizes losses better than emotional humans, but it doesn't eliminate losses. And myth number two is that AI basically sees the future. So the thinking with this one is that AI can accurately predict with almost certainty what's going to happen next in the market. So yes, AI does make predictions, but they're probabilistic, it's not guarantees. So you can imagine them as forecasts. For example, if similar conditions historically in 65% of cases led to an upward move, the AI predicts an upward move, but with 65% confidence, right? But AI can't tell you the outcome of any single trade. It just tells you the, looking at historical patterns, probably best action to take under the conditions you have. So while AI does predict constantly, they're not crystal ball looking into the future type of predictions. They have confidence levels and they have some uncertainty with them. And the third and final myth, is that AI trading is sort of set it and forget it. So people imagine you can just basically train an AI bot and then you set it once to do what it's supposed to do, and then you can basically sleep and your AI trading bot makes money while you sleep. However, unless you have a company or a manager doing the things I'm about to tell you for you, that's not going to happen. Because AI always, no matter if it's in training or somewhere else, requires retraining and monitoring and regular updates. Because while there are patterns in history and historical data, patterns can change. They're not necessarily stationary, right? So with changed conditions, you also, of course, need to update your model and adjust it to work for the new conditions. So here's how AI actually works. So the first thing is pattern recognition. And humans are also very good at pattern recognition. However, we can only look at so much data, of course. But with AI, because it's a computer program, you can feed it as much data as your budget for compute allows, so to speak. And that is the basic building block of AI, that it recognizes pattern in data, and that's what all AI algorithms are about, basically. And then one of the main advantages of AI trading, and also quant trading, not necessarily AI, but just with algorithms, is the emotion-free execution. Because the main weakness of humans in trading is emotion. Of course, a human can also only seriously monitor 3 or perhaps 5 markets at a time, whereas AI and algorithms can monitor dozens and hundreds of markets. But the main advantage is emotion-free execution, because AI doesn't try to revenge trade. If the market was wrong and you were right, then AI doesn't try to get back at the market, right? It just moves on from the trade, which is the good thing to do. And how do you arrive at this great model that produces a lot of profit in trading? That is mainly done with backtesting. So you maybe call it differently normally in machine learning, in AI, which is just training the model. But in trading, you would call that backtesting and optimizing the trading trading strategy parameters with optimization. So then, if you're interested in that, you should look into walk forward optimization. Highly recommend it. And some of the pitfalls of AI in trading are, for example, overfitting, which is when you basically have a algorithm that is way too complex for what you're trying to achieve, right? Or you train so long that the AI model can only predict the data you trained it on, right? It doesn't generalize and work well for data it hasn't seen yet, for sort of future data, like if you apply it in the present, because it is just way too focused on the data it has seen. And that may be because the model is too complex, or because it has been trained way too long on the historical data. And another pitfall with AI in trading is survivorship bias. So if you, for example, trade stocks, then it's stocks of companies, and a lot of companies don't survive, right? However, if you train your model, if you optimize your strategy on data with survivorship bias, that introduces survivorship bias, then companies that went bankrupt are not in the data. But of course, you want your model to avoid buying or holding companies that will go bankrupt, right? So that is one of the biases that can be introduced with bad data. And if you're interested on more of this stuff, check out my very first video I ever made, why 99% of backtests are useless, or something like that. Just go to my channel. And yeah, those are basically the pitfalls, the main pitfalls to watch out for with AI in trading. So when you next time see someone talk about AI in trading and someone who offers AI in trading, if they say their AI never loses or there are guaranteed returns, then you should really run, because that's impossible. You can't guarantee that unless you have some kind of specific legal structure where it's guaranteed by some kind of insurance company or something like that. But in 99% of cases, that's not the case. So really look into it or run. And the basic thing is that AI is not a silver bullet, right? It's not a one thing to rule them all. It's a tool, and it's based on probabilities and on math, and it works, right, if you do it correctly. But it's not a lottery winning ticket immediately, right? It's something that can help build wealth over time. And that's just a thing to keep in mind. All right, and that was it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you are interested in AI and trading, check out autotradelab.com and maybe we can talk. And otherwise, hit the like button and the bell to never miss a video like this. Smash the subscribe button and comment down below what you think are other good points about AI and trading. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching.